U.S. weapons in World War III. How the future of war would really look. World War III would not begin the way past wars did. There would be no formal declaration, no dramatic announcement, no warning sirens echoing through cities. Instead, it would begin quietly. A satellite goes dark. A communication network fails. Markets freeze, airspace closes. And before most people even realize what's happening, the world would already be at war. This is not speculation based on imagination alone. This is the direction modern warfare has been moving for decades. And at the center of this transformation stands the military power of the United States. Not because it has the largest army, not because it has the most tanks, but because it has changed how war itself is fought. A new kind of war in World War I, war was fought with trenches and rifles. In World War II, it was tanks, bombers, and nuclear weapons. In the Cold War, it was fear, espionage, and deterrence. World War III would be different from all of them. It would be a technology war. The United States would not rely on sheer manpower. It would rely on speed, precision, invisibility, and intelligence. The goal would not be occupation. The goal would be control of the air, control of information, control of space, control of decision-making, and most importantly, control of time. Because in modern warfare, the side that reacts faster wins. Air dominance. Power without being seen. The first battlefield of World War III would be the sky, but not the sky people can see. High above clouds and radar screens, the United States would deploy stealth aircraft designed to be invisible, not just to the human eye, but to enemy detection systems. These aircraft are not meant to dogfight. They are meant to enter defended airspace, strike critical targets, and disappear. Air defenses might never know what hit them. Runways disabled. Command centers neutralized. Radar systems silenced. Once air superiority is achieved, everything else becomes easier. Because when you control the air, you control movement, supply lines, and communication. Modern U.S. air power is built around one idea. If the enemy cannot see you, they cannot stop you. Drones. War without pilots. One of the biggest differences between past wars and World War III would be who is actually fighting. In many cases, it would not be humans at all. Unmanned systems, commonly known as drones, would play a central role. Some would be small, fast, and expendable. Others would be large, long-range, and heavily armed, but the real shift is not size or speed. It is autonomy. Modern U.S. military drones can already stay in the air for extremely long periods, track targets across vast distances, and share information instantly with other systems. In a future war, drones would not operate alone. They would operate in swarms. Groups of unmanned systems communicating with each other, adjusting in real time, overwhelming defenses not with power, but with coordination. This changes the psychology of war. There is no pilot to threaten, no cockpit to shoot down, no fear to exploit, just machines executing objectives. And once machines are involved, war becomes faster, colder, and far less forgiving. Artificial intelligence, the invisible commander. The most powerful weapon in World War III may never fire a single shot. That weapon is artificial intelligence. Would not replace soldiers. It would replace decision-making delays. In modern combat, information is overwhelming. Satellites, sensors, drones, radar. Cyber intelligence. No human can process it all fast enough. AI can. In a future conflict, AI systems would analyze battlefields in real time, predict enemy movements, optimize logistics and supply chains, and assist commanders in choosing targets and timing. This does not mean machines make all decisions. It means humans make decisions with superhuman speed and awareness. And that speed creates an enormous advantage, because in war, seconds matter, sometimes milliseconds. The side that understands the battlefield first often wins before the enemy even realizes they are losing. Cyber warfare, the war you never said before the first missile is launched. World War III may already be underway. In cyberspace, the United States has invested heavily in cyber capabilities, not just defense, but offense. In a modern war, cyber operations could disrupt power grids, disable financial systems, shut down transportation networks, and interfere with military communications. The most dangerous part is that cyber attacks are hard to attribute. They're Maybe no clear attacker. No immediate response. Just confusion. In World War III, entire battles could be won without firing a single bullet, simply by paralyzing an enemy's ability to coordinate and respond. When systems fail, even the strongest military becomes vulnerable, because weapons are useless if they cannot communicate. Naval power, the silent threat beneath the sea. While attention often focuses on air and cyber power, the oceans would remain a critical battlefield, especially beneath the surface. U.S. naval power relies heavily on submarines that are silent, hidden, and extremely difficult to detect. These submarines are designed to operate undetected for long periods, monitor enemy movements, provide strategic deterrence, and strike targets from unexpected directions. In World War III, submarines would not just be weapons, they would be strategic pressure points. Their mere presence forces enemies to assume the worst. To defend everywhere. To watch constantly. To live with uncertainty. And in war, uncertainty is exhausting. Missile defense and deterrence. One of the most terrifying aspects of a global conflict is the threat of long-range missiles. World War III would not be about who launches first. It would be about who can survive a launch. The United States has invested heavily in layered defense systems designed to detect, track, and intercept incoming threats. These systems exist not because war is inevitable, but because deterrence only works if defense is credible. The idea is simple. If an attack is unlikely to succeed, it is less likely to happen. This balance has shaped global security for decades. And in World War III, it would be tested like never before. Space, the ultimate high ground. Perhaps the most overlooked battlefield of the future is space. Satellites control navigation, communication, intelligence gathering, and missile detection. Without satellites, modern militaries are nearly blind. In World War III, space would not just support war. It would be part of the war. The United States understands this. That is why space systems are designed with redundancy, protection, and rapid replacement in mind. Because whoever controls space controls information. And whoever controls information controls the fight. The human cost, despite all the technology. One truth remains unchanged. War affects people, cities disrupted, economies shaken. Lives altered forever. Advanced weapons may reduce casualties in some areas, but they also increase the speed and scale of destruction. World War III would not just be fought on battlefields. It would be felt in homes, markets, and daily life across the globe. That reality is why such weapons exist in the first place, not to be used lightly, but to prevent their use through deterrence. The final question: if World War III begins, the United States would not fight it the way wars were fought before. It would fight with intelligence over instinct, precision over numbers, and speed over strength. The real question is not which weapons are the most powerful. The real question is whether the world can avoid a war where these weapons are ever needed. Because once a conflict reaches that level, there are no true winners, only survivors.